What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, aka 1/3 of the New Day. You're not gonna say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts. Wait, that's not right. I missed the whole part of it. Hang on. And there's something fucking stuck in my tooth. And as I talked, it was hitting my mouth. It was fucking weird.
You can't win.
Oh, I'm just having a bad time.
Let's try again.
All right. Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast, a show that takes a look at the soap opera nature of the WWE, the characters, the storylines, all the weird shit that we love, so we just mark out. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'm the nobody of the WWE. I'm Jen.
This show usually comes at you on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can. Facebook.com/groups/thepopculturist, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all those links are down below, including our Twitter handles, which are about there. You know? Come chat to us. If you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures where you can watch us record this show live. Get in the chat, become part of the show. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this wrestling podcast. And if you're on the iTunes, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculture, as well as our merchandise store, popculture.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. How are you, Jim?
I am good, man. I am tender. I am tired, but overall, I am good.
Tender is not the word I usually use to describe you, but I'll go with it. I think it's a good descriptor today.
I had a remedial massage 2 days ago, and she got in so good that like my back is so bruised.
Yeah, she did.
So definitely real tender.
Fuck yeah. That's I don't need that picture of that buff woman anymore. I think that did it. Why is this show so fucking like sexual all the time? God damn it.
I was about to say she beat me like a chicken tender. And then I was like, okay, that's it.
No, that works.
Wow.
That hits
Daddy, what?
It's to say that hits the fat guy in me because you mentioned chicken tenders, and it's this other part of me I wasn't aware of. Like it's ticking boxes. But how have you been, man?
Yeah, good. Just busy. I mean, so busy that like I forgot what day it was yesterday until you said, "Hey, it's Wednesday," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Me too. I'm sitting there and like I'm knackered, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad it's almost the weekend." And then I went, "Hang on." Fuck! Because it's like 10 to 8 on a Wednesday. I'm like, "Hey, Jem, you know that we have a show in 10 minutes." And
I was like,
I'm not ready for it. And then you ring me back 15 minutes later being like, I just finished work. Even.
It was about 25 minutes later because I knocked off work at 8:30 and I was like, so
we're not ready to do a show. She's like, I can run home and do it. I'm like, I don't really want to because my day's all thrown off. And you're like, sick. Do it tomorrow. I'm like, do it tomorrow.
And here we are.
Look, the tens of people that listen to this show aren't going to be too bummed.
No.
You know? They'll be like mildly inconvenienced at best.
Yeah.
Speaking of mildly inconvenienced, I had some weird shit happen today, Jem.
I was going to say, how are you?
So I was driving to work. I was sitting at the traffic lights in my car, my little shitbox car. I was sitting there and I felt this sneeze come on. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to sneeze. I hate sneezing while I'm driving.
Oh yeah.
So I held it. Should have done that. Okay, this made it worse. It made it build up. Next thing I just throw Hadouken out of my nose. It's one of those sneezes where every muscle in my body just curls and fucking comes in on itself. So of course I go and lift and like slow motion Matrix backwards, take my foot off the brake and just bomb some woman.
Oh.
So I bonked some woman's butt in traffic at about 2 k's an hour and kind of inconvenienced her back bumper. That was my morning. That was a good start to the day.
Yeah, fascinating.
A good start to the day. But yeah,
you're being mildly inconvenienced by a piece of something stuck in your tooth.
Yeah, and it's still there. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to lean off camera and just like hack my face off a little bit. Because you can see, I'm just gonna keep going at it with my tongue and see what happens. If anything, that's not a bad thing. Just get I got body exercises going on, got tongue exercise going on. I'm gonna fucking package soon, is all I'm saying.
Damn.
Anyways, we are here to talk about the wrestling.
Wrestling.
Each week we come and we talk about the wrestling, most specifically, actually exactly, Raw and SmackDown. Jem, let's kick it off with what we named this episode. SmackDown is main eventing Wrestlemania. I'll let you do why I hack my face. Hang on.
No worries. So it started with Roman Reigns coming out and showing his huge distaste for the fact that Edge had got one up on him, being the ultimate opportunist.
I think I've made it worse.
No. Basically just has a sook that his almost perfect night got ruined by Edge coming out and spearing him. And he tries to pull the whole, like, I respect you. I like you, man. You're a family man. I'm a family man, but I don't want to hurt you, man. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm a family man. I get it. Look, regardless, I'm going to bite your fucking face off. And
exactly, because I'm a dog.
I'm a big dog.
But he goes, my night was almost perfect. And mentions, his immaculate defense against Daniel Bryan and yada, yada, yada. And Daniel Bryan obviously comes out at this because, you say their name, they're coming. It's
the rules. It's the rules.
And Daniel Bryan's like, you know what? You're right. It was an almost perfect night. And you did have the almost perfect defense. And, he's like, but, you call yourself like the big dog. Like, why don't you lead by example and like, not be a coward? He goes, like, Daniel Bryan's basically like, I've heard rumors. I'm not saying it or anything, but I've heard some things, and those things are saying that you took the coward's way out by making me face you immediately after. And he's like, I could beat you anytime, anywhere. I could beat Jey Uso. I could beat you better than Edge could beat you type thing. And basically he's like, why don't you man up and face me properly? Like, give the people what they want, give them a proper match, and let's do it at Fastlane. Uso steps in and he shoves DB and is like, you lost. You lost to the big dog. You go to the back of the line, my dude. Like, that's not how it works. And then, just attacks Daniel Bryan, as he does. And then we cut backstage to Edge and he goes to Adam Pearce like, you're just going to let that happen? Like, he's just going to challenge and that's how it's going to go.
See, like, this is the weird part, right? So he comes in and goes, he's going to let him challenge him? Yeah, because I'm sorry, Edge, you are technically not fighting Roman. You are fighting for the championship at Mania. Does it have to be Roman? Just because you won the Rumbaroo doesn't mean that you only get Roman. Like, there's pay-per-view to come between then. There's potential other title defenses in there. Yeah. You pick the title, not the person.
Yeah, exactly right. And pretty much that's sort of, Edge is like, I've clearly made my statement. I want Roman Reigns. Like, what's the deal? What happens is like, look, it's not the case. Basically, what gets set up is that Daniel Bryan will be facing Jey Uso later in the night. If Daniel Bryan wins, he will go to Fastlane to challenge Roman Reigns. If he does not, he will not. It ends up happening. Basically, DB's backstage having a chat to Kayla. Edge walks up and is like, so if you think you can beat Reigns better than me, and in fact, if you do beat Reigns and it comes to you and I face to face, like, who's going to win there. And Daniel Bryan's like,
I'll
keep that answer to myself.
That was a nice interaction between the two. It was good.
It was definitely good respect because they definitely respect one another.
It made me go, shit, do I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Edge more?
Right.
Like, do I want to see that more than Edge versus Roman?
Yeah.
And because as I've discussed on this show many, many times, I am still predicting that there is going to be a retirement stipulation come Mania. What if it's Edge versus Bryan? Both with the obviously they both would benefit from that stipulation. We think Daniel Bryan's going to retire. It puts Edge in that position, which is enticing, but he retains.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. It's not going to happen. Roman's getting the Mania, but
exactly it.
That would be dope.
I feel like it might go a different way, and we might see a Reigns versus Bryan versus Edge.
Triple threat.
Ooh. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
We did that. They did that with Becky because she technically won the Rumbaroo and then got to fight in a triple threat.
Yeah, exactly it. So you never know which way it'll go. The way it's looking, though, the way it seems to be feeling like it's set up for me is it seems to be going that way. Even though ultimately, Daniel Bryan did, he did end up losing the match, unfortunately, because Uso counted him out by attacking the knee outside of the ring, and they both, double count out, which means nobody wins. So by technicality, Daniel Bryan did lose. And then Uso continues to attack, but sneaky Daniel Bryan gets that yes lock in, and then Roman Reigns comes out and attacks Daniel Bryan, and he's
fucking classic sneaky Daniel Bryan.
He's
so mischievous.
But yeah, obviously Jay gets Roman Reigns out of it, and they just absolutely decimate him at the end of the night. Which sucked, but at the same time, it was a really bloody good match.
I dug it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm interested in the way this is being entangled just because, Daniel Bryan is phenomenal. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I want to see him in the mix somehow. I would love to see DB versus Edge, properly. That would be sick.
Well, because that's the thing. Are we going to see Edge be in any matches between here and Mania? Because since Rumbaroo, he's just kind of showed up and been like, I'm going to fight you, maybe. Yeah, and he's being all coy about it. But
and there was supposed to be that whole, there was supposed to be a tag team match with Jay and Roman versus Edge and Daniel Bryan, which obviously got scrapped because this took, not really. Apparently it's still supposed to go ahead because Daniel Bryan didn't win. So there was a stipulation, Roman Reigns was talking to Paul Heyman, and he goes, what does that mean, the tag team match is off? And he's like, if Daniel Bryan wins, which he didn't, so it sounds like that tag team is still going to go ahead. But we'll see.
So we've discussed here how this is sort of changing where we stand on Mania in terms of Roman versus Edge, and even though we like the idea that Daniel Bryan might get a sneaky way in there somehow, and we mentioned the stipulations and whatnot, the one thing that this has also done is it's, as I said, with the Rumble winners, we now have Bianca Belair having confirmation that she is going after Sasha Banks, and I'll let you run through that segment and then we'll talk about what we think.
No worries. So it was it was just convoluted, obviously. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville are in the ring, hyping up Bianca Belair. She comes out, and she starts talking about how, she counts down to the seconds, or to the minutes, how long it's been since she won. So 3 weeks ago, she's like, it's been the best 3 weeks of my life. I'm living the dream, two amazing competitors. And as she's chatting away, Reginald comes down and interrupts, and he's basically like, Belair goes, my mum always said, your choices matter and you should always make the right choice.
I still don't know what he's doing. I don't know. I still don't know what his character's supposed to be.
I know, it's a real weird.
The idea that he's just, for the lack of better...
I feel like he's supposed to be that, niggling little, in your ear,
we've been joking, he's just, simping on the women at the WWE. Once again.
Hey, Ric Flair had to
simping-
leave, so somebody's going to do it.
Simping ain't all that bad. I said, like, hashtag simp for Jem. It's been an ongoing thing. And if Reginald wants to simp for Sasha or simp for Belair, sure. Do you, brother. But it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you don't swap your simps. You don't be simping for Carmella and then just change on the Willie. You gotta commit.
Yeah, it's one or the other. You don't get to eat your cake and have it too.
That's right. You don't get to. You don't get to. I think I can't beat that. You fucking nailed it. Like you can't be eating cakes. Is the thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have both, like it's called a marble cake, just have them together.
That's right. And like Mad Dog in the chat, he talked about, his sim for pay. Sim for pay. Like he knows what's up. He understands. Yeah. He gets it.
He gets it. But yeah, basically Reginald's like, you shouldn't challenge Sasha Banks because your dreams will turn into nightmares and your mum will be calling you a loser. And like Belair's this close to slapping him with her tail, or her hair, sorry.
Her tail.
Her hair. And Sasha Banks comes out and she goes, what have I told you for speaking for me? Don't. And like shoves his face out of the way.
Best at rap.
And yeah, she's like, Banks goes on about how she's the best. She's, the number one, which makes, Belair second best and yada, yada, yada. And she's like, Belair's basically like, that's cute. Like, you talk a big game. So if you can talk the talk, you're going to have to walk the walk. And then just points at the WrestleMania sign. And Banks is like, okay. And she's like, me, you. Like, let's
get on.
Yeah, and instead of dussing on each other, they just sort of stood in the ring, like showing themselves off, which I think was cute. There's like a respect there.
Yeah.
You can tell. They don't need to beat on each other to have to know that they're going to have a hell of a match. And then Reginald comes in and goes like this, and they're just like, excuse you.
Fuck off.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
The fact that Reginald's still sort of pushing his way in makes me think that somehow Carmella's going to get involved.
Yeah. There seems to be like a thread of an extra person coming in and like a...
Exactly.
I certainly hope they don't triple threat this one because why would Carmella need to be in there? Terrible. But yeah, Belair versus Banks has me all kinds of keen.
I mean, if Carmella somehow caused something to make Banks lose, I could see how that could tie her back into it. But who knows? But no, I'd rather just straight up see Banks versus Belair, and I kind of want to see Belair take it.
It's like, I was going to say, laying out some early predictions here. Looking at the Universal Championship right now, Roman versus Edge. If it goes as it is right now with no stipulations, no changes, Roman's still probably going to win. He is going to retain at the end of that because that's the whole build up for this entire program, right? Where Belair, I can see winning.
Yes.
I can see her coming out with that belt. And I'm very keen just in general. I think I never, as I've said before on the show, I never understood her on NXT.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Nothing landed with me. But once she got to main, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just become more open to her on main. I don't know. But something changed. And I was like, I get it. I'm understanding what she's gone for, and I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting. But speaking of women's championships, though, Jem, let's jump across to Raw for a moment.
Yeah.
Apparently, Charlotte Flair just fucking forgot that it was 6 weeks to Mania. She's like, shit, Mania's coming. I guess. I'm gonna go for the belt now.
Yeah, well, she goes, I can't help but think it's 6 weeks away, 6 weeks away. We've just seen, we saw that Belair's going to take on Banks, and I thought to myself, who's going to take on Asuka? Like, Asuka she's fought her ass off to get to where she is. She is one of the best to ever be champion, and I came back with the idea that I was legitimately going to be her tag team partner, and I didn't want any part of that title picture. But then I remembered my true colors. And I'm Charlotte Flair.
I remember I'm a bitch, and now that Lacey Evans is out of here, and I fucking yelled at my dad, I'm gonna go for the title.
Send her packing. And she goes, but unfortunately that's not the case because we don't know when Asuka's going to be back because of her injury last week. And they show a slow motion video of the kick to her face from Shayna Baszler, and she knocked out all of Asuka's front fucking teeth.
Like legit, like shoot,
Like
fucked
legit,
her
like
face.
You see, teeth flying everywhere. And Charlotte's like, so like, I know when Asuka comes back, she's going to be bigger, badder, and, you know, like angrier than ever. And I want it. And then Baszler and Nia Jax come out, and they're just like, you know, like, who do you think you are coming out here thinking you can just jump in line? Like, there's definitely people, you know, like us who deserve it, seeing as, you know, I kicked the teeth out of her, literally.
What is this team and fucking up faces of champions, all right? We had Nia Jax blow out Becky's face a couple years back, and now we've got fucking Shayna Baszler kicking people's faces in. Like, we spent the longest time like, why is Shania paying a team? Why are these two put together? Now we know it's face damage. It's face damage.
Yeah, there's a reason they're called Shania Payne, because all they do is fucking hurt people.
Little did we realize.
Legitimately. But yeah, this ends up turning into, well, it leads into the match of Charlotte versus Shayna, which Charlotte gets attacked at the start of, and then she ends up winning anyway. So, I mean, I guess that solidifies the fact that when Asuka comes back, Charlotte Flair's going to be in the title picture again. Yeah,
and then she's going to take it because Asuka's going to have a fucked face, and then brutality, the nightmare. Ripley.
Man, if anybody's going to take a Raw Championship, it's going to be
Rippers v Charlotte on Mania again.
I reckon so.
But Rippers wins. That's the plan.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So that's what I'm hedging my bets on.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm down for it.
Because like watching that little trailer for Rippers, got me
every
all
time
excited.
they play it, I get so hyped.
But you also get so hard because like you're a fan.
Oh man, my nips, ping.
Oh. Yeah, holy
Rhea
shit!
Rip me in half challenge, damn.
Fucking love it. Yeah, look, and that's what it's come. That's what it's got to become. It's got to be Rippers v Charlotte again. It's going to be the redemption for last year. I even though I understand their decision to have Charlotte win, I think they tried to boost NXT at that time, but it didn't go the way it was supposed to. Rippers has been floundering since that belt changed hands.
Yeah.
And they look as if they really want to get people excited to bring her up. And, you know, and the fact that she came second in the Rumbaroo sort of shows that they want to do something with her. And even though, like, I am not a very patriotic person, I'm not super stoked that I just happen to be born on this pile of earth they call Australia. Like, it's just by pure chance I was born here. So I'm like, yeah, Australia. But I can't help but feel excited with Rippers.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's just, and then I saw Bronson Reed like fucking suicide dive some guy's face off on NXT today, and and then we've got like Indy doing great with Candice.
Oh man, the best thing I saw was on Twitter. Rippers was talking about people that she's proud of, like coming up from Australia. And then, like, in a comment after the video, she's like, I forgot to mention Indy Hartwell. And Indy's like, you're dead to me. And Rippers replies with a gif from Series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey when he's like, tough, but fair.
Yeah. And look, I'm pretty fucking stoked on being Australian.
Oh, yeah,
I'm being Australian right now. Like, it is, there's a good little something. Like, although we don't have Buddy Murphy, we lost Buddy for a little while. However, there's enough there, and the Iconics, like Billie Kay is doing some of her best shit at the moment with the whole resume stuff. We find it very hysterical. It's Peyton, the one that's kind of not doing a whole lot right now.
Yeah,
but
thrust into obscurity now that her tag team partner's knocked up.
So
hopefully that'll somehow bring back the Iconics, because we want to see it.
And then as we talked about in the Rumble, like when Rippers came in at 13, like I think it was six out of the 13 were ANZ represent.
Yeah, it was too.
Like that's dope.
That's awesome.
That's
and even like Ray even said it in an interview. She's like, growing up watching wrestling, like Australians on the main card was just not a thing, and it's amazing to see how many of us are. on the screens and in your faces now. And it's just proof that, we maybe it's like a not so small little island, but we've got big talent.
Yeah, man. And look,
it's so awesome.
If Jem and I achieve our objectives this year, our goals, look, it's probably not going to be us. We're not going to be the next in there, but
no,
you
can see us in the crowd.
It's fucking possible, all right?
You can see us in the Mania crowd.
Yeah, team Pop.
We'll have our WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, Team PopC. You'll see us in TCW Mania 2 coming up for sure. But if Jem and I get all wrestling jacked, who knows?
Yep.
That's the plan.
Exactly right.
Why do you think she's so tender? Why do you think she's so tender? Suplexes.
Yeah, exactly right. I've been taking so many bumps. What else did we have that was?
Oh yeah, I really didn't have a transition. I was just talking about suplexes.
No. Well, speaking about injured, let's have a quick chat about Apollo Crews really not taking a hint. So he lost again last week against Shinsuke Nakamura. Tried to attack Nakamura. Big E tried to stop him, so he attacked Big E instead and sent Big E out on a stretcher. And then he came back this week, and all I could think is like, I'm a Nigerian prince, give me your money.
Look, it's a weird space, right? I dug the promo. I enjoyed what Apollo Crews brought to it. And it did make me wonder, I'm like, should I Google this Nigerian royalty thing? I feel I shouldn't because the dodgy emails I could get. But
yeah,
I did like it because like there was a name on his armband.
Yeah.
Which I presume might be his native heritage name. I couldn't think of the right word there without sounding horribly offensive, and I still did it anyway. So I like that. I still don't want him. I still don't think he deserves a spot in the Intercontinental Championship right now.
This gives him some depth though, which I did like. And that's what I was going to say about it is like this promo really did, it gave us a layer to Apollo Crews that just wasn't there before. And like I dug it, but I think I'd dig it in a different picture. Definitely.
Yeah, like it's only because we've seen him so many times go for the title, not get it. Like it baffles me there's no one else in the mid card that can go for that title. And I think if they're trying to demonstrate a story of him being beaten and then getting that, overcome that feel to like, to become him, did it have to be title losses?
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's diminishing the other talent to put up this one story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation. But I appreciate that they've given him some depth and they've given us another layer to the character that is Apollo Crews. But yeah, I don't know. Something else needs to happen with it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I can't put it on there.
But at the same time, I think now that we've got this depth to him, I feel like it could bring something to this whole situation too.
Look, it's not
just some dude mad about losing a bunch. It's like, I've got a strong, proud heritage that I have to defend type thing. Gives you like that Roman Reigns dimension without the ego.
Yeah, and I'm certainly open to appreciating Crews more because we talked about this before, like because Crews is your time, right?
No, Crews is a newer.
Okay, so
Lashley's my time.
Yeah, well, speaking of Lashley and your time, turns out right now it's his time.
Exactly right.
Because
so I guess we'll segue into that.
Yeah.
So what happened was 16, 17 years Lashley's been waiting for. I think this is the major title he hasn't held.
So he had the last major title he had was ECW, I believe.
Yeah, actually, it was 16, 17 years ago. So I've been watching Lashley for years. I've always been a big fan of Lashley. He's just phenomenal performer. Like he's just your big, strong, and he's been going for years. Like he's easily been in the business 2 decades. So yeah, basically, start of the night, it started with Drew McIntyre coming out and talking about how it's been a bitch of a month for him with his best mate turning on him and then Lashley attacking him to get, to give Miz the opportunity for him to get the win. And he goes, I don't care who wins tonight between Lashley and Miz. I am walking out of WrestleMania. Like, I'm walking out of WrestleMania with that title. I'm fighting my way to WrestleMania, and I am getting my belt back. He's like, I didn't go through hell and high water through this pandemic and uncharted waters just to end up here. Like,
and this is what, and then this brought in this interesting setup for the night, right?
Yes.
Lashley versus Miz at the start of the show. Ding, ding, ding. Miz being the shitty chicken shit heel that we discussed him wanting to be.
Because the first show to open was Drew McIntyre versus
Sheamus. The start of the show, not the start of the show, in the start of the show. Sorry. Within the first hour.
In the first hour.
Within the first hour, ding, 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 Miz runs away, gets counted out.
No, not even. Miz tries to pull the, I'm sick, it's going to come out of both ends card.
No, wait, isn't that the second time?
That's the first time.
Oh, well,
So Bobby Lashley goes out backstage after him.
Let me take that correction. So, instead, the Miz has the sore guts, right? Lashley's in the ring. Miz is like, my colon. Then...
my hole!
Lashley gets mad. My hole. Lashley gets mad, runs out the back, decks him. He's lying on the ground, and I think Miz may have shit himself because John Morrison kept asking for is a towel. Not get a medic. Don't get a medic. Get this man a towel. He has pooped everywhere.
Yep, and Adam Pearce is like, I get that you're nervous, buddy, but you're a champion. You've got to defend your title. You've got an hour. You've got till 10. So Miz gets himself another hour.
Now, I wish that I paid enough attention to see whether he changed his trunks, because that would have been a dope little thing.
Yes. I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure because he came out in the red afterwards. So I think he did.
Is it canon that...
I swear he started in black trunks and then he came back out in red trunks.
Is it canon that Miz shit himself?
Oh, I'd laugh.
That is why I like WWE.
Yeah.
Because they made a character shit themselves.
Yeah.
That's my kind of shit.
Well, Vince is known to love like dick and fart and poop jokes.
He does. And I'm also a giant child.
That leads into the second one where Miz finally comes out in his proper ring gear with his little jacket and stuff like that. And as soon as the bell rings, he jumps out of the ring, grabs the belt, hightails it, gets out of there, gets counted out. By technicality, that gives Bobby Lashley the win. Miz loses his champion's advantage, from what I understand. So Lashley's pissed. And, he's backstage with Shane McMahon. Obviously, Shane's getting involved by this point. And he's like, you're going to let this happen? Shane's like, look, I will consider, if Miz doesn't return, stripping him of the title. And MVP's like, and giving it to Lashley. And he's like, I will consider giving it to Bobby Lashley.
I'm just going to put it out there, right? Like, Shane McMahon sitting there, I'm doing my MBA right now. But that, like, he made really shit decisions. Really shit ones. Like, not even that. It's just like, other people have done that in the past and not had the belt stripped from them. So it seems like very strong escalation.
Yeah. I guess, granted it's been dragged out for a couple of weeks and Miz does have an end of the deal he needs to hold up. I think it's fair. But yeah, so it ends up, Shane ultimately says to Adam Pearce, like, you know what? Like, go tell Lashley it's happening. If Miz doesn't show up, he's being stripped. So eventually Miz does show up and he tries to play the whole, I'm your champion, you should take care of me card, rah, rah, rah. And Shane's like, I will take care of you if you retain your title. Yeah. So this leads into the match finally, and Miz knows he's in trouble because he's like, what's the stipulation going to be? And Shane's like, I don't know, I'm thinking about that. And just before the match starts, Shane's like, I had an idea, Miz. Here's some lumberjacks. And the ring just gets surrounded by people. Miz has no way out. He's defending no matter what.
Squashed, fucking tapped out by the Hurt Lock. I don't have to tell you what happened. He just got thrown around, fucking choked, and then Hurt Locked, and he's out.
Yep, exactly.
Bobby Lashley's the new champion.
Bobby Lashley is the new WWE champion.
See, this is the thing. I saw this on the socials. And they're talking about Miz being a good transitional champion. Yeah, and I still agree. Like he did all right. And I saw someone commenting about, he come in and they made the crowd the crowd was booing for Miz and going and applauding the heel. I'm like, it was piped in. No one would have been booing or cheering that if it was a real moment.
And that's where they've got the upper hand, is they can pipe all that noise in.
Yeah, but to me, it doesn't change it. I'm like, why don't you just give it to Lashley? But I guess they didn't want Lashley to beat Drew for some reason. Like, why? Like,
I think because Drew's supposed to be the bigger, stronger guy, which I get. I get it.
But if you look at the two of them, Lashley is bigger.
Yeah.
So, like, exactly. why don't you...
We haven't seen Drew go one-on-one with Braun Strowman dragging a fucking truck yet, so...
Yeah, like, so... As we discussed last week, the standard idea, once again, look, I appreciate them breaking conventions, and I think that's one of the biggest problems that people that criticize wrestling, especially some WWE stuff, is that like they're not following standard wrestling conventions. I'm like, good, because then what? Like that's 100% good news. If it's always the same, and you can always predict it. Where's the fun? And it doesn't follow logic because it's fucking wrestling. Wrestling doesn't follow logic. No one should get their face smashed into a mat 3 times to be able to get up. You can't always apply logic to wrestling. There should be some logic, yes. However, you've got to obscure that a little bit.
It's a vague outline.
It's a vague outline. And the idea of having that dynamic of like, well, a transitional champion should be someone like if you want to go from a face to a face and you put a heel to someone in the middle just so you can then have those two faces fight each other, that way you don't have, you don't have fucking who's two big faces right now? Shit. So that way you don't have Big E fight Kofi.
Yeah.
So you put someone in the middle there so you can get the belt from Big E to Kofi, but you can't, but you don't see them fight. That's what it should be done. Or if you want to go from heel to heel, put on a baby face to then go across. You don't go from baby face to heel to another heel. Like, because I don't see Lashley looking any stronger or any better because of this path. It makes me wonder why, like, because I would have much rather, like, I get, yes, it gets rid of the briefcase, and technically it doesn't leave Miz with the record of an unsuccessful cash-in, and like, if that's the plan, I guess, because, like, I think the briefcase storyline was running thin. That I can't argue. So, like, having him cash in and also having the win, why not?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I also why did he not have to win?
And see, for me, Miz is a better heel champion in like he's sneaky. He's like everything that he did is typical Miz being a champion, and that's why we watch him, because it's interesting. Like, I would love to see all the stupid and creative ways Miz would have dodged like Drew McIntyre. Like, up until ultimately it came to that, like, say a lumberjack match at WrestleMania or something like that, where the Miz just got his ass handed to him. That would have been rad. But at the same time, I can see how they kind of want to, if we're going to go into WrestleMania, they're going to want to do powerhouse on powerhouse. They're going to want it to be a big match. Big, like, meaty, sweaty, man-on-man action. Yeah. That's exactly what they want. That's what pays the bills. So I get it.
When you explain it like that, that might be something that I want.
Yeah. Well, did you not watch Sheamus and Drew McIntyre that night?
Yeah, it was good.
Start of the show. Whoa, those two beating the hell out of each other was just awesome. And then obviously with Drew McIntyre getting the win there, it definitely solidifies that he's back on the path for, like, he's chasing the championship again. Lashley's got a target on his back already. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I don't know how I'm interested. It's weird because at the moment, Lashley he has personality more than he had before, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's Hurt Business are all about the gold, and they've got all the gold again, so all power to them. But in saying that, Hurt Business did have a tag team match against Braun Strowman and Adam Pearce, so there's not much going on there, is there?
Look, if we want to look at Mania matches, right, once again, why do they keep pairing Braun Strowman with fucking randos when it comes to tag teams? Like they had that Nicholas kid, whatever, X amount of years ago, and then
But it's the WWE's MO. I mean, look at they separated Heavy Machinery just to put the Alpha Academy together, and now poor Otis is back in the big dumb strong guy role as opposed to having some character like he had before. It's just their MO. So Braun Strowman's playing the whole they're against me and this sucks.
This sucks.
This sucks.
That needs to be a shit.
And then, Shane starts talking about his studies and stuff like that and how, one of the big lessons at the moment is conflict resolution, and we need some conflict resolution here because there's clearly some animosity. And, I am going to, you're in a tag team match tonight, which you've just found out about. Your tag team partner is, we need you to get on page with management. So your tag team partner is our manager here, Adam Pearce. And you're versing the Hurt Business for the championships right now. So Braun's all for it. He's like, but if you ruin this for me, there's going to be hell to pay to Adam Pearce. To Adam Pearce. And ultimately, Braun's powerhousing the match, and Shane makes Braun tag in Adam Pearce for whatever reason, and Adam Pearce gets sneakily rolled up within seconds for.
Not even sneakily. It's just hey Adam, roll up.
Yeah, roll up. Yeah, and
roll up. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. And then Strowman just goes off tap and he's like, I'm going to wreck this entire damn place and it's going to be your fault, Shane. So we know Shane's a glutton for punishment. I would not be surprised if we see Shane versus Braun
at Mania.
And I'm down for it.
Fucking Shane McMahon.
And Shane does some crazy shit.
He's going to get thrown off something. He's going to eat some major shit. And that's what it's building to.
All because he can.
All because, hey, Shane, you've been missing for a while. You want to get thrown off something? He's like, sure.
Yeah.
Dead.
I'm down for it.
Why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
Exactly, yeah.
Look, so people hate Shane McMahon. I hate love.
I'm about this now.
I hate love Shane McMahon.
You love to hate him.
Yeah, but I love everything about him. I love his shitty dance. I like his dumb shoes. I like his
Here comes the
I like
mummy.
his idiot face. And then my son getting the name wrong a couple of years ago. That was awesome.
So cute.
All these little things that everyone's like, this is all things that make him bad. I'm like, yeah, but he's supposed to be a dickhole.
He's so good at being bad.
He's a shit, and I like it.
Oh, he's so good at it.
Not even being a heel, he's just shit, and I like it.
Yeah.
I appreciate his garbage.
There's something about some B graded. Yeah.
Yeah, he's B grade, and I like it's like it. Hey,
Yeah.
Josh Robinson in the chat, everyone. Also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Robinson got all kinds of fucked on Twitter this week. He sang an iCarly song, and he got his Twitter account suspended because of it.
You're joking.
Dead set. If you want to talk about everything's against him, like Braun Strowman, Josh Robinson, v Twitter, WrestleMania. It's going to happen.
Hey, I just met you, and I'm Braun Strowman.
And he goes in the cast, iCarly can kiss my ass.
Yes.
So, if you if you're listening to this, it's because I presume you like wrestling. And you like fun wrestling chats like we do, right? Check out Josh. Josh Robinson,
Definitely.
one word, _00. Give him a follow because he had 4,100 on his old account and he needs to rebuild it up from scratch.
Yeah, I'll have to
Give
follow
him some hard loving. Not too hard.
Add me, baby.
Gentle loving.
Yeah.
The right amount of loving that you should give someone on Twitter is what you need to give Josh.
Sit in a dark room and gently caress the
Just touch it a little bit.
I don't do that.
Just a little bit.
You do that. Shut up.
I do it consistently, actually.
Look, honestly, after all of that, not much else.
iCarly versus Josh at TCW Mania. They're done. That needs to happen. Josh, we needed to get you on TCW anyway. You're in.
Yes.
It's you versus
That's your
iCarly
entry.
at TCW Mania. The redemption match. And you are going to choke her the fuck out.
Yeah, down for it.
Done.
For it.
That's how you settle this. That is how you wrap up this feud on the socials.
In the squared circle.
That's right. As it should be. Yeah. Oh, shit. What else happened on the wrestling?
So we saw some more Damian Priest, who is so far undefeated. Obviously under the guise of Bad Bunny being the 24/7 champion. Damian Priest, pretty good scrap with Elias. Got the win ultimately. Remains undefeated. And the only other real important thing of note, because everything else just felt like filler match, was Randy Orton.
Randaddy! Everything else is kind of just extra, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. There was tag
match with the Alpha Academy Mysterio, some tag match between Zayn, Corbin, and Profits, because the Profits needed to start winning again. Seth Rollins came out, and apparently his letter did a thing.
Oh, this was good, yeah.
And then Cesaro gave him a swing for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, fully dizzied him. He's like, oh, I didn't call you a loser. I said that you're in a losing situation and you could learn from me and all you have to do is see my vision and you could be amazing. Like, you're already a star, but I'll just like make you the moon type thing. And then Cesaro's like, and just grabs his legs and says like, no, you put me down. You put me down right now. And Cesaro's like, swing.
And
then huge uppercut.
And then 3 ad breaks later, he's still swinging, then he gets uppercut. It was kind of cool.
You know what? I did like this though, because I think this is really going to help give Cesaro the push that he needs.
Yeah. Especially
because right afterward, as Cesaro's leaving, is when Daniel Bryan came out for the match. And they did this rad little fist bump and Cesaro was all like this. Yeah. And it was really cute. So it's really changing Cesaro. It's transitioning Cesaro from heel to face, and I'm about it.
Yeah, I do like it too.
I reckon by the end of the year, we will see Cesaro with some sort of notable championship.
Yeah, so that's the thing though. Like that means that we're going to see potentially Big E lose the IC at some point to a Healy person, and then it to come back, or with Big E turns, which I know it's unlikely, but that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Who knows? And then there was also a 6-man tag, Retribution versus Riddle and the LHP for some reason. Lucha House Party get the win. Mustafa Ali's like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Has a 1-on-1 match with Riddle and pins.
And wins, of
Riddle.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right,
there
that's
was
all.
Naomi.
Yeah. Naomi did a thing.
Naomi versus Nia Jax was just basically just more lead up to the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
But all that is the thing that's fucking weird, and I think it's dumb and love it for the exact same reason.
Exactly right. That's why we watch it.
My 2 Randys. It happened.
Yes.
2.5 Randys, as we said at the start before we started recording.
Randy
voices, all love the voices.
Well, yeah, that's what I got from that. So obviously Caleb Braxton's like, what do you make of all these mysterious circumstances that have been happening ever since the Firefly Inferno match? And he's like, you know, I don't know what to make of it. All I know is that I know now that Alexa Bliss is behind it because whenever she's there, something goes wrong. And then as he's saying this, Alexa Bliss pops up in the background. She's got a little music box that she plays and she's like, bring him back. And she goes, but before we can do that, what was it? She said something like, oh, before we can bring him back, I don't know. She starts laughing. And then we see the screen turn into like Randy Orton or demonic talking about how he's going to like see the real him and how like it was basically like the voices in his head fighting him. You could tell it. And he starts coughing up again. And this is actually
I can't breathe. Takes Titty's shirt, says,
yeah, exactly.
I must be shirtless.
Randy. Yeah.
It's the same thing with like from the whole when Batista was kicking the shit out of like Ric Flair and stuff, and Ric Flair's like after he gets kicked the shit out, Batista and he kept trying to take his shirt off for some reason. It's like, no, Rick, stop it. Randy's like, shirt's off again.
Yeah, gotta get naked.
Yeah, go.
But no, this is like really cheesy B-grade horror stuff, and I am all about it because I'm really getting into like spirituality and all that sort of stuff, and I've always been into like I've always had like experience with like ghosts and all that sort of weird stuff. So to me, this is just hitting all the right beats of like the spiritual side of being like, this is totally fucking plausible. Like I've had crazy experiences getting like shoved out by spirits and shit like that.
It's not fucking plausible because it's Randy. It's Randy on a TV. However, it's dumb, and I like dumb.
Yeah, it's our escape from reality.
The only thing they could have done better is if they gave him a goatee and then like that's evil universe Randy. And like that's
and like Alexa Bliss is in a seance thing with like Rambling Rabbit trying to resurrect the Fiend or something.
Like if they gave him the evil goatee, I would have fucking died. And that would have been highlight of the year for me.
Yeah.
Like I hope this leads to a cinematic match where Randy has to wrestle Randy. Because
man.
that is
Right?
the
Like
next
whole
level
John
of
Cena
dumbness
thing.
from here.
Oh man, a John Cena style match but with Randy Orton, yes please.
Yeah, that
That
would
was
be
cool.
mad. Like, yeah, whether we
Yeah.
get that weird trippy shit like John Cena had,
Oh man, that was so
like
cool.
with the Firefly, what was it called?
Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, it's the
match.
Firefly's Funhouse match was dope. Yeah, or if they just somehow cut a cinematic one together where it's him versus
Yeah.
alternate universe Randy. But like the thing that got pointed out, I mentioned this before we started recording as well. I was watching, even though I don't really like Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer, he
Yes.
did bring up a good point. Brian Alvarez was like, is it a little bit weird that like heel Randy is being harassed by an even eviler Randy? Like, it's not
Right.
like good versus bad, it's evil versus eviler.
Yeah. Eviler.
And it's like, oh, I don't like you because you're eviler than me.
Yeah. I definitely think this is going to come to some weird, like, battle against the voices in his head type thing. And you know what? Do it.
Is this how Randy goes face? How long has Randy been, like, heelish for?
Oh, man. Forever. Because he's just so good at
What
it.
if he just
He's
suddenly
so
what
good
if he
at
just
doing
suddenly
that.
becomes really nice?
Please don't. Don't do that to me.
I don't know. And then that would probably ruin all his mystique, right?
Oh, but... Yeah, nah, like, he wasn't terrible as heel, but he was also very young. So now that he's older and a lot more shape... Yeah, sorry, thank you. But now that he's, I don't know. Yeah, thank you. I don't know. I mean, the best thing he ever did was, like, make out with Stacy Keibler and then RKO her immediately after.
Yeah, and
Like, that just solidified his legacy.
as far as I know,
asshole.
he's always been an asshole. So what?
Well, when he started in Evolution, he was like the young, like they were the bad team, but he was like the good guy.
Yeah, but
of them.
he still had that ego and that charisma and like arrogance and stuff because he was in the big team. But like he's never
that's
been
true.
like, you know, big fucking baby.
Yeah, no, but that's what works for him too. Like it works.
Yeah, but like what?
I don't think I could ever see him transitioning ever.
But once again, if we're going to use the law that we have in front of him.
No.
Sorry, if we use the law that's surrounded by it with the Fiend right now, that's been placed in front of him. With once you get him with the Fiend, you change, right? And it's normally the polar opposite of what you were.
Yeah.
That's the only real explanation.
Yeah.
And it's dumb. It's incredibly dumb. But I want to see it through because
Me too,
apparently
mate.
I like torturing myself.
I mean, you don't know until you know. And it's the fear of the unknown that keeps us hanging in there.
It does. It really does.
Because you never know what's going to happen week to
But
week. I was not expecting Miz to lose the title this quickly, so...
That's a good point. So to add to that, though, like the thing is, with whatever happens here, the Fiend has to come back in some way.
Yes.
We haven't actually touched upon any possible predictions yet. What do you think? Will the Fiend return as the Fiend? Will he get a new mask? Because like the weird thing here
I feel like
is
there'll be
that
some kind of
the mask is
burn
such
mask
a
look
massive
thing.
merch seller. Like, why would they scrap all that? Like, it was anyway. I don't know how much is going now, but
Yeah.
does this mean obviously he needs a rebrand? Is he going to come back as Bray the Burn Victim? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, right? He's going to do like a Kane style thing.
He's like a mummy with just like gauze everywhere and you can't touch him because it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, like we saw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I can't right now, because I couldn't have predicted the Fiend.
No.
So I can't sit here and be like, oh, Bray Wyatt's going to do this.
Bray Wyatt's a step ahead of all
And
this.
that's the thing, and I hope that they allow him to do some of the same level good creativity like that the Fiend was, that lets him go, all right, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be big, it's going to be cool, and then presumably he's going to fucking melt Randy's face.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's weird because of this middle ground, like Alexa's kind of stuck in this. As we wait for Bray to return, Alexa's kind of stuck in this loop as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky.
And like, you know, 6 weeks away doesn't seem like a lot, but it is also kind of a lot. Like
exactly.
It's long enough. It's long enough for this to feel like it'll be too long if it goes longer.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Either way, let us know what you think, chat. Did you enjoy Booby Lashley coming out as the champion? Do you think Miz's weird transition was interesting? What did you think of my two Randys? Would you like to be involved with those two Randys? I'm not against it, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What else happened this week?
Call it a spit Randy.
Yeah.
Instead of a spit roast.
A Randaddy sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
I'll be the jam in that sandwich.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey,
well done.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Charlotte Flair getting the title picture. I know our friend of the show, Dashfield's here. He'd be like, just fuck Dom.
I love it, though. I think Charlotte is the perfect person to be around the belt.
Around the boat.
Around the belt, because she's Charlotte Flair. She said it herself. She's not the best. She doesn't need to brag about being the best or the champion or whatever, because she's just Charlotte Flair. She's a household freaking name.
Yeah, but we discussed it. Like, she's got like 3 or 4 title reigns ahead of the next person in terms of her numbers.
Yeah, I know.
So why give her another one? Why can't Rippers just come in and fuck Asuka up?
Well,
Fucking Rippers. And then
because I feel like it needs to happen on the main stage.
Yeah, but
it
then
didn't
Rippers
work in NXT, so they have to try again on the main page.
But what if Rippers wins the title early before Mania, and then Charlotte's like, "I'll beat you last year. I'll beat you again." Rippers is like, "Get fucked, mate." She's
I'm down for that.
and fucks her face.
Fucking nah, see.
Yeah, nah, cunt. I'll fuck you up.
So, you dog
Yeah, you
cunt.
dog cunt. I'll fucking fight ya. That is what we need
so I
to
wouldn't be
see.
surprised if it come out of her mouth.
And then Buddy comes and says, "Yeah, it's what she said." And
fucking let's go have a coffee.
yeah, and then Buddy and Rippers cause a team together, and it's called the Fuck Yeah, and like they come in, and that's the chant. Chant's
It's
like,
called the
"Fuck
Yeah, nah,
yeah,
cunts."
fuck yeah," and they're like, "Here you go," and then they fight. Australia.
And not even good, they have flip-flops and they're using them as weapons.
Yeah, and then Matt Riddle gets involved because he's like, "I love flip-flops."
Because he's got, hey, my jandals can be involved in this.
Get my jandal, and then they like, "Yeah, fuck you," and they grab his jandals and they like throw him like your mum did, and you get wanged with
and
that
they
thong.
start smoking durries in the corner with a goon bag.
And they introduce the goon bag to WWE Universe.
Yeah. Imagine if they used a goon box as a weapon.
It's like the Mimosa Mayhem, the Mimosa Mayhem match, but it's just fucking passion pop.
The Fruity Lexia fight to the death.
The Fruity Lexia, yeah, I like that.
The Fruity Lexia fist fight.
That's it. There it is. Fruity Lexia fist fight. That is the shit you get if you hang all the way to the end of the young and the
instead of
wrestlers.
winning belts, they have to get the goon bag off
The goon bag, it's off. There's a clothesline hanging from the roof.
Hills hoist, yeah.
Hills hoist
yeah.
hanging from the roof. You got the goon bag on it. You know.
Goon bag on the gallantry match.
Goon on a pole match. There you go. That's so dumb.
Piss on a pole match.
What's that? Piss on a pole.
Piss on a pole match.
Booze it.
And they say Australians have no culture.
That's right. Booze in the bank.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
This has been the Young and the Wrestlers Australian edition. And it usually comes at you every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. Different this week because we fucking forgot what day it was, so calm down. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can head over to facebook.com/group/popcultures, as well as Twitter, Discord, Instagram. All those links are in the down below area, including our Twitter handles, which are right about here. Gems is over there somewhere. Come chat to us on the Twitters. We have a lot of fun over there. Pitch your silly Australian ideas for Rippers.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee she'll hate it, but
Yeah.
there you go.
It'll be funny.
Yeah, if you want to join the conversation as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures where you can watch us record this show live. What else happens? If you want to support the show, tell your friends, tell your family about this wrestling pod. If you want to support us, fine. Oh, wait, no, nope. If you listen to us on the podcast, so be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. Or if you are on that YouTube, like, subscribe, leave a comment below. I endeavor to answer every single comment. And if you want to support us financially, you can at patreon.com/thepopculture, as well as our merchandise store, popculture.com/shop.
Where you can buy t-shirts,
where you can buy shirts
shit.
and other assorted shit with our logos on it. But until next week, I'm Ryan Betson.
And yeah, now, mate, I'm Jem.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fucking not.
Yeah.